As predicted, the way those protesters and the street marchers flouted the coronavirus lockdown rules over the weekend has fired up businesses whose livelihoods have been shut off by the pandemic restrictions. These businesses are shut or they're operating at uncommercial customer numbers, bleeding money while following the rules. And they have to watch others do as they please against the rules with impunity. One such company is Navara Venues. They run a range of function and reception centres around Sydney, large venues used for weddings, celebrations and other functions, all those social gatherings that have been banned or heavily restricted over the past 3 months. And they are fed up.
After seeing what happened over the weekend, the protests, the restaurants opening, to be honest, not really social distancing happening. The restaurants were doing more than they were supposed to, which I don't blame them, because they've been closed for 3.5 months. The protests that happened, I get it, I understand it, and I would have been there myself, and it's there. And with the government okaying to all of this, but leaving our industry sort of closed, is something that I don't understand.
Yep, it is pretty difficult to comprehend. So regardless of the law, Sal Navarro reckons he can open next month to unlimited numbers, putting in special hygiene and social distancing measures yet to be detailed.
But today is just about telling you all that we will be reopening, because we just cannot deal, we don't want to deal with upset brides or upset clients anymore, because it's not fair on them. And the government obviously over the weekend clearly showed that they allowed to have 15,000 or 20,000 people. They allowed to have restaurants open up that had more than 50 people inside of them. And hopefully, and I will say this in the next 10 days, that we don't have a spike in the coronavirus, and my prediction is correct, which will make us open on the 1st or the 7th or the 15th of July.
Well, that's all a month or so away. The lockdown rules surely will be further relaxed by then. But companies like this, of course, need bookings ahead of time, so this might be a clever move by Navarro to encourage some bookings. Still, elsewhere, some good news. Well, kinda. There will be a crowd at Saturday night's AFL blockbuster between my beloved Adelaide Crows and hometown rivals Port Adelaide. This is the first round back for the AFL after the coronavirus shutdown. No crowds at other games as yet or in the NRL, but the South Australian government has revealed 2,000 fans will be allowed into the Adelaide Oval grandstands and 240 people into corporate facilities. Now, keep in mind the stadium holds 50,000 people. Now, and South Australia has had no infections for weeks. Its borders remain closed, and more than 6,000 people were allowed to a protest in Adelaide last weekend. So suddenly this 2,000 limit seems a little absurd. You could fit 25,000 people into Adelaide Oval and still have ample social distancing. Still, a couple of thousand is a start, I suppose, an overly cautious step back towards normality. I'll tell you what, those tickets are going to be highly sought after. Go the Crows. But one other thing. The South Australian Police have knocked back a request for another Black Lives Matter protest on Saturday. It was okay last weekend to have a protest, but not this weekend. What a shambles.